Welcome back, everybody. It is Jeff and Justin, the Frustrated Rockstars, back again live on MP4 with some talk and roll.
Our last show of the year, Jeff.
This is our final show of 2008, and of course we started this whole thing in February, so we're coming up on 1 year.
Coming up on a 1 year anniversary.
Wow,
that's amazing.
You guys have been great. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's like 55 episodes so far.
Yeah.
More than one a week.
Yeah, we are good.
We have been ubiquitous.
We are very ubiquitous. And now we are at the Cocktail Cove in Sandy Springs, Georgia. That's
lovely
our
spot.
It's our home with Elvis and the Brothers Johnson. Backing us up. And we got a very good topic. You know, I'm sure we have a lot of passionate metal fans, hair metal fans.
Yep.
Although, you know, we don't like the term hair metal.
Yeah.
But we're going to
We prefer metal Americans.
We prefer 80s metal.
Yeah, 80s metal.
But, you know...
Hair metal is derogatory.
Yeah.
Why can't you say... You can say nappy-headed hoe, but you can't say hair metal?
Actually, I mean, you can't say nappy-headed hoe.
Well, good. And I think hair metal should be... Why
don't people get kicked off
them?
the radio for saying that?
We're talking about the legacy of hair metal, though. The interesting thing is when we were growing up, we were picked on for liking it.
Right.
And certainly it's become a pariah of show business.
A punchline.
It's a punchline.
It's a punchline.
Exactly. And yet, all the reality shows feature hair metal artists.
Right.
The only concert tour reunion, what are they called, nostalgia tours that are really playing the big venues, hair metal tours.
Right.
You know, where they get 3 or 4 bands together.
Oh, the big festivals. That Rocklahoma Festival, I think, is on its second. It did its second year this year, and it's huge.
Metal was just this thing that was just going to be the 80s.
Right.
Dead in '89.
Once Nirvana hit, it was.
That's it. These guys are going to be in pawn shops.
Right.
Well, I don't.
And that's how it was, though, for like a little while. But it did have a resurgence.
It just shows that people, the fans, really like the music, and the music was really good.
Yeah.
People like the artists.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the thing that discredits it the most is some of the actual artists kind of make fun of themselves,
right,
for having a long hair. Yeah, which feeds the propaganda that it was all a bunch of BS or all a bunch of crap.
They're a bunch of Uncle Toms.
Yeah, they're going along with what the elite media say.
Right.
No, man, stand up for what you did. You did awesome stuff.
Yeah, number one songs.
Multi-million-dollar multi-platinum albums,
huge
stadium tours. And you're right. There's all these festivals, there's all these reunion tours, and all this.
There's no big New Order tour.
No, right.
There's no big Cosby Show tour. There's the one thing from the 80s that's still relevant and big.
Right.
Is hair metal.
Yeah, it's not the rock of Robert Smith.
Right.
I mean, they're not on there, and there's not rock. There's not.
They had the last laugh.
Yeah. Yes.
And what do you attribute that to? The passion of the fans. And also the talent of the music. I think the music is starting to get credit too. It's the most popular station on all the XM Sirius.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Hair Nation 23.
Mm-hmm. So, I think they got the last. I guess my point is the legacy of hair metal is a lot bigger than people think.
And the legacy of the antithesis, which would be, I guess, new wave.
Grunge was over by 2000.
Yeah.
Over. Nothing.
You know what I find funny is on Sirius, it's Hair Nation 23, and the channel right below it is Classic Alternative 22, and it's like the antithesis of that in the 80s. But yeah, there's I don't think there's as much of a legacy with like.
Plus, the big bands are still making albums. The AC/DCs, the Metallicas.
Well, those aren't really hair bands.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But you know,
but they were there.
Poison's still making albums. I don't know who. I mean, we haven't.
Motley Crue's still making albums. Bon Jovi's still making albums.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a long time ago. It's been 20 years.
Yeah, and everybody thought, and they were definitely hair bands. So
some are still major label too.
Hey, I know we got a lot of passionate hair metal fans.
Yes.
Or I know we have a lot of Nirvana fans who hate hair metal. So please, hey, give us some feedback. We want to know what you think.
Or people that want to tell us, what was your favorite show of 2008? This is our last show. Give us some feedback on what your favorite moments or shows
roundup
were.
of 2008.
Yeah, a little 2008 roundup.
The release of Don Felder's Heaven and Hell book, autobiography, would be my highlight of 2008.
I would say the Jakey Lee joining Enough's Enough would be my highlight.
Good one. So you get comments, leave them at info@thefrustratedrockstars.com.
My favorite hair metal moment.
Or YouTube. And right now, let's just go right in the noise. So we got Metallica, you know, they're out there.
Always in the news.
Touring, always in the news.
They're like the Yankees or the Cowboys of music. They're always in the news.
Yeah.
You always got to get a story.
So, you know, of course, back in 2000, you know, there's a big stink because Lars wanted to sue Napster or whatever. He was all against the online music stuff.
Really hurt their credibility.
Yeah. But, you know, he does say it was only because they wanted to have control over their music, and I don't think people should be stealing music for free. I mean, that was it really was, hey, summer 2000. It was a candy store. Yeah. I mean, I got so much free music. I don't deny it.
We were like looters. It was like I had a TV on my back and I was running down Main Street.
I don't do it anymore, though. I mean, I just buy straight up from Zune. I don't bother trying to look for free music anymore. Those days are over, you ask me. But anyhow.
Those crazy days of youth, Jeff. When you really let go.
So now that Metallica is, I guess, free of their record contract, which is an interesting thing in and of itself.
So they're not
free agents. I guess
they're not electric.
I guess they finished their obligation, so they can do whatever they want. They're considering an internet release.
I just think the hypocrisy of that is unbelievable.
Well, but
he made such a big deal, though. He was like the poster boy of don't use a computer to get your music.
Well, for free. He was saying don't steal from the artist.
Yeah, but the way it came across to everybody, he really took a big PR hit with that whole
Well, I mean, he even said on the...
I'm not saying he's right or wrong, but the PR hit was huge.
Yeah. But even on Some Kind of Monster, Lars was saying, hey, you know, I'm kind of over it. I understand it now. It's legitimate now. I download music from iTunes. So they're considering just releasing an album internet-wise. It's just an option for them now that they'll have a record contract.
Well, you know, it's just Metallica once again. We'll never do videos. Then they do a video. We'll never do online. But I guess you got to adapt. And maybe that's why they've had such longevity, is they're willing to adapt and embrace new technologies and maybe do something they said they'd never do, but hey, it's 10 years later, and
if Metallica wanted to get with another record label, do you think they get a good deal, or is it like the whole business is kind of like they couldn't give Metallica the kind of money they could make on their own, doing it online, or Metallica could pull an AC/DC or Guns N' Roses and make a deal with Walmart, or
maybe it'd be slot music.
Oh no.
Maybe you make some slot music.
Well, you know,
see old podcasts.
Yeah, the slot music. That's it. Yeah.
Well, so, I just find it very interesting.
You say drop this. He shouldn't be.
Yeah, I say drop it.
Okay.
No, I say drop it. I say you want to put an album out, you do it the old-fashioned way, just like you wanted us to do it.
Okay. Well, I say sign it. You know,
but they're gonna do it.
They're gonna do it.
That's how everyone's gonna do it now.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna be. So, yeah, you got any comments about that? Please leave them YouTube or MySpace, or we're ubiquitous.
We're ubiquitous. We're everywhere. I just want to thank you once again for a great year, and don't worry, we're coming back hard, fast, and strong.
Hardcore and uncensored.
Yeah.
Actually, we will be censored because we want to get to as many people as possible.
That's right. The kids can stay up.
We're clean.
Sit in Daddy's lap and watch the show.
So let's move on to tonight's commentary.
Shall we?
As we're sitting here recording this, there's a lot of music on in the background, and a lot of the people singing through the vocoder.
The vocoder. We've heard it no less than 5 times.
Yeah, it's the computerized voice. We did a show about that recently.
It's on every song.
And one of our favorite fans, Poop Deck 2009.
2000.
He just threw in a comment.
Poop Deck 2009.
I like what Peter Frampton does with the voice box.
Right.
Now,
you take this one.
Yeah, well, it's not quite the same, but same concept. It's altering your voice. The difference is, of course, with a voice box, you're having to sing along with a guitar, so you got to be able to sing on key.
Right.
Whereas the vocoder, you stick it in there, and the computer does the work for you.
Right.
But he's absolutely right. Peter Frampton in the voice box, that was a big thing back then.
That made that whole album.
That made that, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, Joe Walsh was great at the voice box too.
Richie Sambora too.
Richie Sambora. Whoa. Yeah. So I personally,
Nick Mars too, by the way.
Yeah. Kickstart My Heart. I mean, But again, using a voice box takes a lot of skill. Right. You actually realize because you got to play guitar and sing along with it.
Right.
Big difference from the vocoder. Right. Which people just kind of, you fart in the vocoder and it sounds like Christina Aguilera. This will be the last show of 2008. Right. So.
First year, you guys were here.
Yes, thank you so much, and we will catch you in 2009.
Enjoying your music.
Enjoying your music.
All right. See you. Oh, and when he does try to rock, it's that lame get off.
No. The first song, Rock and Roll Jesus, knocks your dick in the dirt.
But